Hey guys, welcome back to this episode of Fishing with Tate. So I know I was supposed to give you guys a carp catch and cook video, and we've been trying to do that. However, it's not been working out. But we did make an attempt to go out and catch some carp, and this is how that went. Take some of our pack bait and just pack it right around that hook. Just like that right there.
Yep. What was that?
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. However, we did make this catch. Oh, yeah. Golly. What we got here? Little bluegill. And that was the only thing we caught that day and the next day. So I did try to give you guys something a little different. I went out to a lake yesterday, and I mean, we threw everything at them. We was flipping the pads, flipping docks, flipping wood. We went offshore fishing, which is something I am not very comfortable with, and hopefully we will do more of that in the future. And as it got later in the evening, we did try to throw some moving baits, see if we can get a reaction strike, and throw some topwater, which could have saved the day, but unfortunately it did not. We did find some fish, but they were mostly suspended, in which case they are extremely difficult to catch. But either way, we're back here, and we're going to make a very common video for you guys. There's probably 1,000 videos out there of this exact video. However, I'm going to make it 1,001. So catching bass in July, in the middle of the summer, 90, sometimes clocking 100 degrees outside. Fish love to move out deep. A lot of times you find them suspending like we did yesterday, and they are extremely hard to catch. So this time of year I find myself doing a lot of pond fishing. So I'm going to do a quick video for you guys talking about my top 5 must-have pond fishing baits. So to get it started, in no particular order, I'm going to start with the topwater toad. And one reason I like the topwater toad so much for ponds is that a lot of the ponds that I fish have a lot of grass and weeds, as you may have seen in my past video. And this bait is actually really good for coming through weeds and scum without getting hung up. This particular toad is actually the Stanley Rivet, and this is the Stanley Double Hooks. Most of the time I'll throw this on a medium heavy fast action rod or something around there. It just kind of depends on your preference. So the next bait that I chose was a light Texas rig. Now, the reason I chose this bait is because a lot of times in the summer ponds have a lot of grass, especially the ones I fish, and a light Texas rig just comes through the grass a little better. You don't want to put a real heavy weight on there. Actually, the weight that I use here is about 1/8 of an ounce, simply because if the pond you're fishing has a soft bottom, which is pretty common, you don't want it digging into the bottom and picking up anything that's on the bottom. So what I have here is a Berkley Chigger Craw, a 4/0 extra wide gap hook, and an 1/8 ounce weight. I typically throw that on a medium heavy fast action rod, or you could throw it on a medium rod, whichever you prefer. Next we have a bait that is probably not going to be a big surprise to you. It just flat out catches fish. That is the Senko. This is actually a Bass Pro Sticko. I typically use a weightless Texas rig for grassy ponds. However, you can use a wacky rig Senko if your pond does not have as much grass. And typically I'll throw that on a medium fast action rod. Next we have a chatterbait, which is a really great bait, great moving bait for going through grass. A lot of times it'll get caught up in grass and you just give it a good pop and it'll come right through. And I usually throw a boot tail swim bait on the back of that as a trailer. And usually I'll just bite the end off of that so it goes up against the chatterbait real well. And I'll typically throw that on a medium heavy fast action rod. So last but certainly not least, my favorite pond bait to use is a topwater frog. So here I got 2 different types of frog. Both of these are Booyah Pad Crashers. One has a cupped mouth and it's a popping style frog, and the other is a walking frog. And this is a tiny version of the Booyah Pad Crasher. And I use this one quite a bit in ponds, especially when the bite is a little bit tougher. So you guys have probably already seen my frogging rod, but once again, I use the Cabela's XML Bass Rod, which is a heavy rod with a fast tip. Really good for working frogs. It's very important to have a good sturdy rod when you're setting a hook with a frog. I typically use 65 to 50 pound braid with my bigger frogs. And on this smaller frog, I would probably use a medium heavy rod with probably anywhere from 20 to 30 pound braid, just to get more casting distance. If you guys are looking for a real cheap frog and you never threw a frog before, then go ahead and check out my video about the Ozark Trail Frog, which is only $1.96. I'll drop you guys a link to that video in case you want to go check it out. Guys, do me a favor, comment below any baits that you like to use to fish for bass in ponds in the summertime. If they're a little bit different than mine, that'd be great. Maybe I can give them a try. Guys, make sure to like this video, subscribe down below, comment any suggestions that you may have for future content, and also turn on the little bell notifications to keep up to date with my channel and be notified every time I upload a new video.
I'll see you in another episode of Fishing with Tank.